Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 201, Trash and Atlas. Fyro-chan's back. Atlas. Atlas says as she comes into the house. I wonder if she managed to get back the levels she lost. With just a little more, Atlas will be able to class up. The two are actually quite close in level now. Her timing is quite good. Naofumi. I leave Female Knight and Ren to their training, and go out to meet Fyro. Who has understood the source of power command. Let the truth once more be read forth. Wash away the origin of my hatred. Driafach Aquablast. As I exit the building, I hear magic being chanted. On reflex, I tense my body and prepare my shield. Like a baseball, I return the magic by batting it with my shield. WA. The caster of the magic just barely manages to avoid it by a paper-thin margin. Of course, I could identify the caster by voice from the beginning. She's more talented than her sister. What are you trying to do? Melty. That's my line, Melty. Naofumi. Can you not even think of a reason as to why you were being targeted? Melty. Nope. Especially not from you. Naofumi. What was that? Melty. Fyro coming home obviously means that Melty came back as well. What level has Melty become? She was 18 before, I think. That magic from before was quite potent. I'd say her level has at least doubled. Master, I'm home. Fyro. Yeah, welcome back. Naofumi. Fyro is approaching me with a posture suggesting that she wants me to pat her head. I reluctantly pat it. She just returned, but her feathers are strangely tidy. Did Melty groom her? She feels softer than when I pat her before. Yeah, I guess I should groom her if I ever feel like it. Nope, you say? You made Fyro drag me off to a distant remote location to level without asking for my input. Melty. That is, well. It's fine, isn't it? Naofumi. I'm angry because it isn't fine. Melty. As always, she's quite worked up. If she toned down a bit, she might make a nice conversation partner. Though I get the feeling that all of this might be my fault. Fyro, how high did your level climb? Naofumi. Fyro got to 63 and Melty got to 40. Fyro. I see. That's higher than I expected. Naofumi. I came back because I thought we could class up Melty-chan. Fyro. I see. I see. Naofumi. I smell Galeon's scent from Master. You haven't been sleeping with him, right? I also have the feeling that Fyro's territory has turned into Galeon's. Fyro. Her intuition is sharp. And I don't remember this ever being your territory. Both Fyro and Galeon go around arbitrarily turning my land into their territories. But I guess complaining to my pets won't get me anywhere. Yes, we slept. I'm not sure about territory, but I had him erect an anti-teleportation field. Naofumi. Bulletin dash. Fyro. She starts rubbing her head on me and clinging onto me with her wings. It's a bit annoying. I'm never giving Master over to Galeon. Fyro. Yes, yes. Naofumi. This is a pain. Oh? I just got an idea. We're going to class up soon, so go do some intense training with Atlas. If you do so, I won't sleep. With Galeon. Naofumi. Sure. Atlas-chan. Fyro. Fyro sure is energetic. She left Melty and ran off at an alarming rate. All of my annoyances have disappeared. It's finally quiet. Melty. Melty makes eye contact with me, and she stares silently. Humph. Melty. Melty stomps off. Some soldiers accompany her. The future queen is quite an unpleasant person. After that, I went to make medicine with Rat. Recently, I've been having her teach me some alchemy. After the sun starts to set, I take a break. If Atlas were here, I'd train with her. As she's gone, I asked Tricia and Female Knight to help me. After dinner, I returned to making medicine. This has become my basic schedule in the village. Ren trains with Female Knight deep into the night. The next morning, Phiro and Atlas returned. That was quick. Phiro-chan is cruel. I wanted to spar with Naofumi-sama. Atlas. But Atlas-chan. You will class up soon, right? Phiro. Are you sure you don't want to get to the level cap? Naofumi. It seems that Atlas-chan will be fine. Fidoria says that. Phiro. Why? Naofumi. Because Master is here, she says. Phiro. Does she know the necessary conditions? I can ask her, but I'll have to use Phiro as a medium, so that sounds annoying. Then I guess we should depart for Atlas and Melty's class up soon. Naofumi. With these two, I think just taking Phiro will be fine. Then I'll go get Melty-chan. Phiro. Go get her. Naofumi. In around 5 minutes, Phiro comes back with Melty. She's still pouting. Perhaps I should leave Atlas to Phiro next time too. I think as I activate the portal shield to take us to the castle. Now then, Naofumi. Amazing. We really warped to the castle in an instant. Melty. Melty looks around the castle's courtyard in amazement. It truly is a convenient skill. I knew that from the beginning. Motoyasu said in his game it could only transport 6 people, but I should test that theory. I haven't really played with this skill too much. The cooldown time is a bit long. So this is Melty-chan's castle. Atlas. Not mine, but my mother's. Melty. Is the conversation they were having when the shield brought a Hakuko again. Trash. Trash comes running at us again. Father? What the hell are you wearing? Melty. This time, for some reason he's wearing what seems to be a bunny suit. Is it Yazapil based? What sort of punishment is this? I nod at Melty's embarrassment. Atlas. Atlas turns her head towards Trash as she lets out a sound. Trash. Trash's steps slow and he comes to a stop. What? He has a very strange expression as she stands still. He seems to be crying. But he's also smiling. It's quite a complex face. Uni-sama. Atlas. What are you saying? Naofumi. How could she mistake Trash for Foal? They might be annoying in similar ways, but they are fundamentally different. Mostly in age and stature. But Atlas can't see that. Trash. Trash seems to have come out of a trance. He turns around and starts walking off unsteadily. Oi. Naofumi. Trash doesn't seem to hear me. What could have happened to him? Ah, mother. Melty. A few minutes later, the queen makes her appearance. I told her of how Trash caused a commotion as soon as we got here, but left when he saw Atlas's face. I see. Such a thing happened. Queen. Do you have any idea why? That's the first time I've seen Trash like that. Naofumi. Atlas-san, was it? Please let me see your face for a second. Queen. Yes. Atlas. Atlas steps forwards, and turns her face to the queen. I see. So that's why. Queen. Did you figure something out? Naofumi. Explaining will take a while, but is that fine? Queen. Let's see. That sounds annoying, but seeing Trash like that made me curious. Naofumi. I'll omit what I can. Don't worry. Queen. The queen stares at Atlas as she begins speaking. The hero of the cane, Luge Lankaros, had a younger sister who was unable to see. Their ages were quite separated. Queen. She isn't going to call him Trash. I guess that's fine. So he had a little sister. There were a few complications with Luge's birth, but that isn't very important, so I will omit it. Queen. Are you sure it's not important? Naofumi. Then shall I tell you? Luge's real name was Luge Lances Fabili. He was the third legitimate heir to the throne of Fabili. Queen. Fabili is the strongest country in this world, right? So he was that country's prince. Naofumi. At first, but then an incident came that robbed him of that privilege. That incident involved the killing of his parents and many others close to him by the Hakuko. Queen. So his life's been a soap opera, that trash. Is that why he hates Atlas and Foal of the Hakuko race so much? Luckily, Luge and his sister were not there at the time, but the country of Fobili did nothing in retaliation against Siltweld for political reasons. Because of that, Luge began to despise both Fobili and Siltweld. He moved to my country, which discriminated against demi-humans, and changed his own name, Queen. And thus began Trash's fight. Luge hid the fact that he was of royal blood, and rushed onto the front lines of the wars Melromark waged. Along the way, he was selected to be the master of the 7-star cane, and he began to spread his name as a hero. Queen. What a smooth rise to fame. I'm jealous. But, the Queen takes on a somewhat troubled face. At that time, I was still young. That man's resourcefulness and strength won my heart. Queen. I don't need your love story. Please continue. Naofumi. But while Luge ventured off, he had left behind his sightless sister. Soon, he received word that she had disappeared with nothing left behind but a pool of blood. That the Hakukos had killed her. Luge's desire for revenge strengthened. After many years of war, he challenged and defeated the Hakuko king of Siltweld. Queen. And? How is that related to this? Naofumi. I do have a hunch. Probably. Yes, Iwadani-sama. As you thought, Atlas-san's face looks exactly like that of Luge's younger sister. She looks like an exact replica of Lucia. Queen. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 202, Amnesty. So it's really that. Naofumi. Yes. Queen. From here onwards is just conjecture, but a few thoughts come to mind. There is the possibility of the beloved little sister of Trash being treated as a plaything by the Hakuko from Siltweld, getting raped and becoming pregnant with Foal and Atla. But why that wasn't brought up in discussion and various other questions arise. However, from Foal and Atla's descriptions of their past, they hadn't been treated badly. Then, had the little sister and her Hakuko partner actually been in love just like in a soap opera? I didn't really know the particulars. But Atla's confusing Trash with Foal could be said to have been her sensing their blood ties. Just that, they said that they had simply been rich, but Foal and Alta are half-human. Naofumi. Who knows? I was really little after all. If you want to know the details, you will have to ask brother Atla. I see. Naofumi. I'll ask Foal when he returns. In short, Trash became docile because he realized everything after seeing Alta's face. Or perhaps he perceived it as the return of his dearly beloved little sister. His first name and surname were taken from my father. Our country has the tradition of having the husband's name decided by the wife. Queen. Naofumi. Trash used to be so famous but has now become like that. It was said that he had children and then went bad. Then mother, does that mean that Atla-chan and I are related? Melty. That seems to be the case. He may feel at ease because she's the spitting image of his sister. Queen. No way. Naofumi. That's right. Their connection was too much. Atla must have been sensing her own blood. Well, it may be better if the fact that the relatives of the king of the anti-demi-human Melromark were demi-humans was concealed. Anyway, to reveal it now would just incur meaningless mayhem. I understand the story. By the way, we captured the hero of the sword, but I wanted to ask what we should do. Naofumi. That's right. The public rumors have been settling down lately, so I'm worried about the punishment. Queen. According to the legends or something, we can't kill him during the waves, right? Female knight. The female knight spoke. What does that mean, I wonder? Such a prediction has been written down. Queen. The Pope tried to kill me with all his strength before, though. Naofumi. Do you really think that those who have faith in their own convenient beliefs will trust that sort of legend? Queen. It is pretty persuasive. Nonetheless, it can be said that it is a plausible view. Seeing as even Galen says so, it might actually be reliable. What happened to make them settle down? Naofumi. From the start, the country in which the spirit turtle had been dormant had a few diplomatic issues. Queen. Ah, come to think of it, Ren mentioned that in his story. That there's no point in relying on the country, and that they've been brainwashed by the spirit turtle. Or something. The 7-star heroes, who were famous because of the seal, were originally from our country. They had to surrender. Requests came despite not having an hourglasses of the Dragon's era. The legend of the 4 saint heroes originated from our country and such. It was a country full of troubling problems. Queen. Every country has its troubles. And because that country had a catastrophe, in the end there were still benefits. It started in our country and caused a lot of damage in the neighboring countries, but in relation to the damage from the waves, we have started to acknowledge that the rumor about the masses also being concerned with the 4 saint heroes is a lie. At present, we head to the front lines beforehand. To curb the damage, we can even say that there will be hindrances in the end and we may be stigmatized. Queen. That's a favorable explanation. Neofumi. The heroes' legends are mostly spoken of with benevolence. The legends of the heroes exist in many countries. Depending on the country, they could be deified, with bad deeds being blamed on an impostor. Queen. Speaking of which, even in my world, the great men of the past were really, actually, I haven't heard much about them. Research would reveal that there were countless examples of being unexpectedly useless or lacking common sense. Not to mention that compared to my world, news in this world was at least 1-2 steps behind, so the heroes' actual situations were unexpectedly unknown. And besides, with respect to the waves, there is information about the unnecessary influence of the heroes and the damage this time being witnessed, and the necessity of the heroes being reviewed and invites being planned. Queen. If a hero was killed with that kind of motive, you could probably hide it, but what would happen? Neofumi. We would investigate their survival using the equipment used during the summoning. Although we've already handed it back to Fabire, Queen. Sigh. Neofumi. We couldn't execute him. Moreover, even if we can find him, we would still have to call him out when the waves occur. In actuality, the most we could confine him for was about 2 months. Killing him during the next wave is an option, but intentional killing may lead to war, and it also seems risky to kill him while there are still waves. From the reports, I've heard that he's become obedient. Queen. Yeah. Your subordinate, the female knight, is looking after him. Neofumi. That person, I see. She desired to be employed in Iwadani-sama's land. She also had some skill with swords and was familiar with the land, so I encouraged her, but some problematic actions stand out. Queen. Indeed. Neofumi. If Iwadani-sama wishes, shall I demote her? She is excellent as war power, so it will be more secure if she serves in the castle. Queen. She's Ren's reigns. I'd like her to remain close by to deal with Ren. Neofumi. I understand. That person's father was a very excellent person, but his daughter has a few unique set of values. I wanted her to observe Neofumi's land management and have more flexible thinking, like her father, but it seems that's not going very well. Queen. She's a stubborn person indeed. The cause of that is the will of her excellent father, though. In which case, the female knight may have a different idea about what flexible thinking means. If it's for the sake of the people, I wanted her to know the resolution of staining her own hand. But, Queen. Well, the current her has the distorted hope for both herself and her opponents to be honorable. As a person, it's fine if that's the case, but it would be hard to get a promotion. And also, I can't leave the land to her. Having too much of a shitty character will produce conflict, and being so self-righteous means that people won't approach her. A similar character would be Itsuki. If I think about it, our ideals have some similarities. If I had to say though, Itsuki is more extreme and self-centered. Well, he doesn't seem to have the sense of duty I, who has a mass of self-righteousness, have. And so, what's happening with Ren? Neofumi. I heard that the hero of the Sword Sama is being cooperative. Queen. You're not going to assign any punishment. Neofumi. It would be different if we were in peace, but right now we cannot predict the future. Therefore, fighting for the world is punishment enough for all the heroes, is that not so? Queen. I'm not bad though. Naofumi. If you have feelings of guilt personally, then amnesty can be granted, though there will be an increase of surveillance. At this rate, winning over allies is the best plan, don't you think? Queen. My not being killed when I was falsely accused as a criminal was also due to this same reason, but those guys in the past probably had this kind of feeling. Who knows, but I'm reluctant to consent. The world causes such pressure. This year, there was famine all over the world and we suffered a decline due to monsters. An omen of war could also be seen, and the loss of war power due to the waves so far, the damage caused by the spirit turtle. We couldn't impede criminals if we wanted war power for the waves. And above all, the waves will probably come many times. We want to have strong war power if we can, that is our motive. Queen. I got it. I'll tell Ren. Naofumi. If I think about Iwadani-sama's feelings, I would like to assign a suitable punishment, but, for requiring you to have patience, many apologies. Queen. No problem. It's true that it's reassuring if the heroes are our allies, and I can also be at ease. Also, have you found Itsuki? Naofumi. No, his whereabouts are unknown. We've also appealed to Zeltber, but finding him is hard. Queen. I don't know where he disappeared to, but he probably has the warping skill as well. As I expected, it's impossible for Shadow to follow his warping. Huh? If I think carefully, didn't the Shadow surveying me lose sight of me many times for the same reason? Well, it's not like anything bad happened, so there's no problem. Even so, your daughter is really evil. Naofumi. Really, it's already like the findings. No, never mind. Queen. Due to indulgence, was having a bad child rather tough? Also. Queen. When the queen raised her hand, Shadow appeared and handed me several jewel-like stones. These are Naofumi. Dragon cores. Perhaps there may be a fragment of the Dragon Emperor in there. Queen. I understand. Thanks. Naofumi. Were they a treasure of the castle or something added to a famous weapon? Their assistance helps a lot. I think this is to compensate for Ren not being punished due to political reasons though. We're going to go class up. See you. Naofumi. It's been an enlightening talk, I also thank you. Queen. Then we went to the Hourglass of the Dragon's Era and completed the class ups. Melty finished the ceremony at a frightening speed. The feather reacted before there was any contact. Was it alright even though she wasn't a companion of mine? But when I was sensing the flow of magic, I felt something escaping from my shield. It awakened some unpleasant ability. Alta was also able to be influenced by Fyro's Ahog. When I asked Fidoria, using Fyro as a proxy, she said that the divine protection of the dragon fragment was also engaged, so it was hard for her to engage or something. With this, our war power rose. Now then, Fyro. Naofumi. Wati. Fyro. Take the future Queen Melty and Atlatu, Naofumi. Naofumi, if you don't stop it, I'll get mad. Melty. Yeah, aren't you always mad? I get it, so stop with the magic. Naofumi. Well, we have some flexibility this time, so I'll let her go. Then take Atla and go level up. Naofumi. Okay. Fyro. No way. Naofumi-sama. Atla. Fyro carried Atla on her shoulders and ran. Naofumi-sama Atla. With this, it will be quiet. Now I have to return to the village and discuss Ren's treatment. From tomorrow, it'll be unnecessary to start the female knights boot camp. When it became night, due to weariness or something, I came to be annoyed that Ren slept with a refreshing face, and so I whispered insinuations in his ear. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 203, The Flow of Magic. Fyro and Atla came back the next morning. The noise settled down, people with a level of 66 stuck in my chest as an auspicious number. Now then, Atla, focus on the attack I've requested, and use it nimbly for me to see. Naofumi. Do you mean like this? Atla. I received Atla's thrust, applying peerless transformation style's concept of key to herself. It let out a good sound, bash and dash. The foreign substance coming into my body, the magic power, I release outside after attaching my own magic power. In the midst of receiving the attack many times, I became able to receive mostly no damage. Do I not have a way to use the flow of magic power well? I tried experimenting with attack methods. But it seems my lack of offensive power is guaranteed, as it did not turn out well. The chances that I can use anything but attacks are high. Perhaps it is because of my element as the hero of the shield, or maybe it is the nature of magic power. And so I experiment even while not in battle status. While making lunch, I tried to cut using magic power on my hand holding the knife. W.A. The slave in charge of cooking raised their voice while watching me cook. Well, I guess so. Even the chopping board's been cut. On a mail-order TV program somewhere. Amazing. As I expected, Neofumi. My shield is getting in the way. However, the cost is intense. A sizable amount of magic power was taken from just cutting. Female knight and Rishia are using this on a regular basis. There are quite a few differences when used for defense. Can't it be applied effectively to skills? Today's food made by Shield Nyakin is even tastier Keel. Yeah. Delicious. It suddenly got even better. I'll resume experiments after lunch. The problem is fuel efficiency. What can be done to improve usage cost efficiency? Nii-chan, you listening? Keel. Yeah, I'm listening. My skill improved, right, Neofumi? Working at Nii-chan's place is the best. Wan. Keel. The excited Keel became a dog. Her tail going wag. That happy You loincloth wearing dog. If I make the food well, this'll be said, so it's fine if I pretend to hear. After eating lunch, while trying to include magic power with skills through trial and error, I use Air Strike Shield. Looking carefully, I observed that some parts of Air Strike Shield's flow of magic power have a weak spots. That female knight destroyed Shield Prison so extremely easily, isn't it because she hit these weak spots? Atla, Neofumi. What is it? Atla. Try breaking the magic shield I summoned, Neofumi. Okay, Atla. When I gave the order, as I thought, Atla hit the weak spots of the flow of magic power. Letting out a bacon sound, the shield was easily destroyed. Just as I thought. In other words, concentrating the magic power in my body. Air Strike Shield. Neofumi. I cast. But it didn't go that well. Or this method rather, it's not much different from casting magic. The hero of the shield worthy of the origin of power commands. Decipher truth once more, protect. That one. Fast guard. Neofumi. I fired again to see magic power expenditure. The magic power diminished is even more than I predicted. At least it succeeded. Effects are, I check my status to confirm. The improvement is visibly better than the usual fast guard. Then why doesn't it work as a skill? I think there is a chance that the concept of SP differs from magic power. What exactly SP represented as a number, I couldn't figure out even after thinking. Soul point? Or is it stamina point? Only SP is written in English, so I have no idea. Is this what's called key? Probably not. Having confirmed with the slave's statuses, I'm well aware that none of the others have an entry named SP. There is probably no mistaking that this is a characteristic of heroes. I have a feeling this will be even harder to learn than magic. But if I can understand this sensation, called SP, if I become able to add magic power to them, I feel like skills can be further strengthened. As it is now, not only does the prison not work on female knight and Atla, it feels like I've reached the limit of just defending with the shield's defensive power. For now I'll just be happy that I can use magic to improve power. Oh yeah, the cooking I made while practicing it during the day was highly praised. I tried applying magic to the compounding process and made medicine. Ingredients are inferior herbs made from the bioplant. The heal pill has been completed. Heal pill quality somewhat bad - high quality. Cut, I put a bit too much magic power into it. But, if magic power is put into its production, even the quality of inferior materials clearly improves. Magic is sometimes conferred when you enchant, but, as expected, it's handled with a different system. I anticipate my hero characteristics will have an improved effect if I add magic power to my shield. The reason I can't reach the skill level of pharmacists may be, and so I show my face in the neighboring town. Then I went to peek at the pharmacist's magic power used when compounding. Rather than bestowing magic power, I feel a thin magic power streaming out from the pharmacist's body to help with the compounding. As I thought, this can be adapted to item production too. A large difference in skill will probably appear between I who is clearly aware when compounding and the pharmacist who is not. I want to teach the pharmacist. But, will the pharmacist become able to manipulate magic power? Even I had to be poked a lot by Atla and told the general idea by female knight and the combat instructor before I became aware. Probably, the bunch of this world can use magic power subconsciously to do things. In which case, what factors into having talent? Mastering this power would become awakening to talent. No, the battle instructor called Rishia a rare talent. I thought Rishia's flow of magic power looked strangely low when I saw it. So it likely can't be judged by that alone. There'll be no end if we bring up exceptions, but that isn't everything. I think I'll gather a bit more research. Emiya, who is studying at the dress shop, is, what? She is zealously packing in magic power as she sews. Won't her magic power run out like that? However, Emiya is sewing clothes as if there was no bottom to her magic power. Concentration ability? I can't really get a grasp on the essence of this magic power. Racial ability correction? If I think the cost is low, and there only appears to be a lot coming out, I cannot. I understand now why clothes made by Emiya is strangely good. The skill to make a high-quality dress from a monster's hide, I've certainly gotten a look at it. Guess I'll bring refreshments or something after. The gloves she made looked so easy to use, even I was surprised. The size is also perfect. Though I'm a connoisseur, the imperfections were intentional. Well then, the neighboring town's reconstruction has been mostly completed. I don't see anything inconvenient. It is also thanks to Melty and her subordinates. Under my umbrella of power, humans who worshipped the shield could not behave arrogantly. I'm giving speeches at fixed intervals, and patrolling when free. Ah, Master, Fyro. Fyro came with Melty on her back. What are you doing? Studying and patrolling, Neofumi. Wow dash, you properly do stuff that needs to be done, huh, Neofumi, Melty. Incidentally, Fyro's magic power appears like a giant clump. But I don't see the Ahog's reception. Atla has spoken as if she could see it. So you say, but it was you who said it'd somehow or other be bad if not managed right, Melty. Neofumi. I guess, Melty. You're not going on a leveling trip. Neofumi. I'm not going. Melty. Why? You're the next queen, having a high level shouldn't be a disadvantage, Neofumi. Though rotten, she's a magician type. My place only has Tanako and the matchless people with magic specialties. The slaves learning at the magic shop can remember magic, but demi-humans scarcely possess straight natures. They all seem plain, or rather many are the physical strengthening type. Of course, there are some who can use attack magic, but those who specialize in it are rare. Thinking about it really carefully, both Tanako and Galeon's flow of magic power was low. I can't figure out what factors are involved with the essence of magic power. I won't know even if I confirm with help. After all, the shield works differently, right? My natural role is as the rear command. Being able to defend myself is good, but why would the ruler of a whole country be standing on the front lines? Melty. Certainly. But in my world, there were moving tales of splendid kings who fought on the front lines for their people. Naofumi. There's that, but still, Melty. Melty is honest if it involves the country, huh? I wonder what is so hard to stomach. But I don't want to increase levels so simply by just riding on Fyro-chan. I, in my own way, want to become able to fight, Melty. Oh, as expected, her thinking is fundamentally different from her older sister. Your older sister just leveled to increase status, leaving everything to Motoyasu. Thinking like that, it certainly differs from EXP. I can understand the feeling of wanting experience. While we were talking about such things, Galian in baby mode descended with a bossa dash. As I thought, you were here, Galian. Has whispering near my ear become your hobby? Oh yeah, the core stones I got from the queen turned out to mostly be failures, but it seems to be a useful item for the Dragon Emperor to status up. That's why Galian has gotten a bit stronger than before. Moreover, one was a Dragon Emperor fragment mixed in. Galian quickly ate it. The knowledge that was obtained then, useless information about how heroes fought the waves many times. No, not that it wasn't necessary, but just how much tangible information can you not remember? Though it's helpful to have two people added as options for class-up assistance. What? Naofumi. Have you forgotten? I had a promise to teach you the Dragon Pulse method, Galian. That's right, Naofumi. Master, what are you talking to Galian about? Fyro. About being taught magic, Naofumi. If it's magic, Fyro can dash, Fyro. You are bad at teaching, right, Naofumi? Let's see. With the power from the bottom of my body, Jiu, and let it in BAA, I think, what you want to be, you become. I haven't forgotten what she said. Fyro speaks with nuance, so it's difficult for her to teach someone. Also, it seems to be useful magic special to dragons, so it's impossible, Naofumi. Seems you can't use it if you don't have the Dragon Emperor's divine protection. It is probably necessary to receive Galian's divine protection. AA, the ones Windia-chan uses? Naofumi can use it. Melty. Who knows, Naofumi. By the way, I suggest you give up on attacks. It is absolutely impossible, Galian. Goo, why can't I use attacks with this either? Thinking conversely, I'll become able to use restoration. But still. Probably stuff like the holy water's power increase, huh? It'll be convenient if I can use it, but still. Boo dash. Fyro. Fyro regrettably showed her displeasure with an Yuh dash. And then Fyro's feathers suddenly stood up while trembling. What? Did she sense a weird presence? What's wrong? Naofumi. Dash. Fyro. I shake my head thinking Fyro absent-minded. What is it? Fyro. No, I thought you sensed something, Naofumi. Fyro doesn't know, Fyro. What is it with this bird? Well then, I'll be walking back to the village, so I'll have Galian teach me, Naofumi. Naofumi, can you talk with dragons? Melty. It was broadcast pretty obviously, but Melty doesn't know either. Huh? Was she not there that time? When Galian talked? He hasn't talked. No, he's been talking, just with only whispering near my ears. The information hasn't reached you? This guy can speak with human words, Naofumi. Geo dash. Galian. Showing this off, Galian winked many times in a cutesy manner. What are you trying to do? Oi, Naofumi. As I thought, it's a false rumor. Naofumi too, stop saying irresponsible things. Melty. Melchan. Galian talks, you know. Fyro. I suppose. He can speak with monsters' language, right? Come, let's go back to work, Fyro-chan. Melty. Dash. Fyro. With a pon dash, directions were given for Fyro to move. Fyro repeated what she said many times as she walked. And? Specifically, it's no good if I don't study it right. Naofumi. About right. But, the divine protection itself is easily attained. Stay still for a bit, Galian. While mounting on my shoulders, Galian began muttering with a butsu. I, Galian, command the heavens, command the earth, cut off reason, connect, Galian. This phrase again let's look at Galian's magic power when he's chanting the Dragon Pulse technique. Here I request of the earth to grant power through a new blessing, Galian. I see magic power flowing from the ground into Galian's core. There seem to be differences from the magic I normally use as expected. If I'm not mistaken, it is something like changing into the embodiment of taking power from other mediums. That's why the efficacy of mediums will weaken if its power is borrowed repeatedly. I can see the nearby magic power shining fluffily, a bit fairytale-like. This, if I couldn't see magic power, I wouldn't have known about it. Does Atlas see this kind of world? I feel like magic power and ki are a bit different. For the Blessed One, the Dragon Pulse's divine protection. Dragon, breath seal. Galian. The magic loosed by Galian flared and poured onto me. And then, a soft light was absorbed into my shield. The divine protection itself has been set up successfully with this. After this, if you study the manipulation of magic power and method of drawing power, you should become able to use it. Galian. Neofumi. However, as far as I can see from your qualities, you only have restoration and support type, I believe. I recommend creating a defensive membrane with water for training, Galian. Famu, I got it. Then come at night, I'll train at that time, Neofumi. Met and understood, Galian. Galian rapidly spread his wings and took off. With this I've also become able to use magic like Tanako and Sadanaha. Galian took power from the earth right. Essentially extending my magic power like when enchanting, I tried forcibly extracting power from the ground. Difficult to grasp. Even if you can grab sand barehanded, it mostly ends up spilling out, is what the situation is like. Furthermore, this method feels somehow different. When Galian did it, the earth naturally released its power on its own. I haven't learned the aria or anything, so it's not like I should be able to use it. After that I groaned as I continued practicing to include magic power with my magic and skills. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 204, Dragon Pulse. Evening. While drinking magic water, I continue my researching by compounding medicine. If this influences everything, then I might be able to assist with the weapon shop old man's efforts. At least, I can put magic power into the raw materials, even if I only help with the purification of metals, something good might come out. I made you wait, Galian. Don't come. Fyro. Fyro is being competitive again. Galian brought Atla with him. Sadana is already drinking sake in my room. This fellow can also use Dragon Pulse, so techniques will be learned. I have come to sleep in the same room today too, Atla. Ah, I see. You came without learning your lesson, Fyro. Though Fyro was entirely causing the disturbance, well done. Incidentally, Ren was running laps around the village throughout today too. Well done. He also helped with the village's routine tasks, consisting mainly of manual or physical labor. Though Tanako has not realized how hard she is to deal with, her high-handed character is improving, and she appears to be opening her heart a little to the villagers. Though I don't really care. So, Galian, do you remember any magic besides the ones you use? Neofumi. There are several conditions, but there is nothing I cannot remember, Galian. Conditions. Neofumi. First, one who has received the divine protection of Fyro Reals is improper, Galian. The class up correction thing. In other words, I can assume Talia can't do it. Similarly, Atla too? Or rather, the magic Fyro Reals use seems to be of the same system as the magic we use after all. How about monsters? Neofumi. With the exception of a small fraction, they have the same system of magic organization as Fyro Reals, Galian. Neofumi. As I thought, dragon exclusive magic was something like that. Sadana has used both types of magic. In which case, if the Fyro Real's divine protection is not Received during class up, you'll be able to use it. Naofumi. Let's see, is it like that? Sadhana. No, I think it'd be considerably difficult. That aquatic beastman is heresy, Galian. Is that so? Naofumi. While grinning, Sadhana displays her laid-backness by releasing her clenched fist gesturing Gupa dash. Human, you can do anything if you persist dash, Sadhana. That'd be good if so, Naofumi. It's troublesome because this fellow makes everything out to be simple. How should I put it? It seems simple when looking, but do it in practice and the endless difficulties are easily performed or something, that kind of idea. Well then, Galian. Galian pointed at the water in the jug. The training to draw out the power of that water is beginning. I'll show an example, Galian. Saying so, Galian held his hand over the water jug. I guide the power of this water, and desire embodiment. Earth vein. Give me power. Aqua seal. Galian. The power transferred from the water jug to Galian, becoming an embodiment of magic. If I'm not mistaken, this magic created a magic water membrane. It can be used to weaken the effects of fire. Attribute magics. It's probably useful when you want to go into fire. For practical uses, it seems like it could be used in place of air conditioning when it's hot. I'm guessing there's no magic book or anything, Naofumi. I suppose. This magic is completely different from the process of how you and others materialize magic from your own power. You use power borrowed from other mediums after all, Galian. Before, you didn't embody power from yourself. Naofumi. If I remember correctly, it was Dark Nova, Prominence? I don't recommend drawing power from yourself, Galian. Why? Naofumi. Anyway, because it is me, you will end up taking out all of your own power if not moderated. At that time, I give guidance to the power in the breath organ with me, Galian. So it's impossible if it's not Galian or something like that. In games there'd be an energy bar. Though it seems you can attack life force. Though you may be from another world, you are still classified as a human, so the Dragon Pulse will not work that well, Galian. I see, Naofumi. Also, conducting your own magic power to use Dragon Pulse techniques has bad efficiency. Using magic attained the usual way is probably best, Galian. I somehow understand. Dragon Pulse that is invoked by power borrowed from outside, and magic that materializes as power is drawn out from within. This is probably a big difference. There isn't much meaning in taking the roundabout way and drawing out your own power with Dragon Pulse. Do they have the same roots? But, it feels like something is different. On a related note, Dragon Pulse has little magic power consumption, Sadhana. That I know, Naofumi. Yes, because you are receiving borrowed power, so of course it's cheap, Sadhana. I see. It appears in manga, an impression like borrowing power from the spirits of the deceased. In other words, it would be like a magic user and a spirit user by RPG classifications. Can it be used without cost? Naofumi. If you use the same medium too much, the borrowed amount will decrease. Incidentally, it will take some time to recover, Galian. Is that so, Naofumi? Also, it is possible to draw power from the precious metals of gems. They have lots of power. Galian. Is it different from magic power? Naofumi. I'm guessing you mean in gem processing. Strictly speaking, they differ. That is a technique that pours magic power into gems to release the power inside it. Dragon Pulse contrarily extracts from it. Galian. Opposite vector, this certainly seems difficult to learn. From there, about 2 hours were spent practicing Dragon Pulse while being taught by Galian and Sadhana. Like I said, don't put in magic power. I know just by seeing the weird magic power in the water. Galian. You can see it. Naofumi. The water is quivering, isn't it? Not only that, you can tell by a glance from the weird shining. Galian. Please hold on, Naofumi-sama, Atla. Atla is cheering me on. I know already, so you hurry and go to sleep. Naofumi-chan. It's not good if you release magic power like when you use magic dash. Rather, with the feeling of being empty, with the image of receiving power from the water, Sadhana. That's what's difficult, Neofumi. This is difficult because there is nuance, nothing more. Let's see, not by pulling out with magic power, but by receiving power from the water. And, with even a slight response, the water gave power. Aura. I consciously tried sending power. Like I said, don't put in magic power. Galian. Ah, enough. So troublesome dash. I feel like I understand why Tanako can only use Dragon Pulse now. Sadhana who can use both is an abnormality. There is a genius here too. I'm not a genius but the hard-working type. And, when I was suffering as 2 hours passed by, just somehow or another I grasped the trick. Thanks to becoming able to see the flow of magic power, I learned by watching the flow when Galian and Sadhana chanted and became able to do it. It feels like requesting earnestly. At the same time make a cavity in your magic power. After, you gently touch the water with magic power like reaching out your hand. Through my magic power, the water's clean flow is conveyed to me. That's right. That is good. I'm surprised you progressed faster than I anticipated, Galian. That's true dash, Sadhana. What do I do after? Neofumi. The aria will appear in your head. Construct it, Galian. Okay. Neofumi. I comprehend up to what was said. What? In my head, something like a puzzle is rising to the surface. A really fluffily indistinct enumeration was joined together like a puzzle. I understand that the magic invoked changes depending on this combination. Let me see, Neofumi. As I am, I cannot complete many shapes. I try to combine to consciously form the shape of aqua seal. However, the parts disappear while I am trying trial and error. It failed. Try it once more, Galian. Hey. Tanako and Galian are always doing this in actual combat? This is getting more abnormal. Is there a need to memorize? It's become a staircase of problems. Though I say that being made light of for not doing it is also objected. I draw power from the water once more. I assembled the puzzle gently floating upward as quickly as possible. The construction shape is different from last time. Now is probably not the best time to nitpick. But, the necessary parts are lacking. I can quickly assemble another one from memory. I guide the power of this water, and desire embodiment. Earth vein. Give me power, Neofumi. With its completion, words unintentionally leaked out simultaneously. No, rather should I say I ended up reading it. It's somehow troublesome with all these differences between magics, like ease of use. Aqua seal. Neofumi. A target icon appeared so I designated myself. With a bash and dash, it was confirmed that the magic was invoked. Fumu, you grasped it surprisingly fast. I suppose it's as expected of a hero, Galian. That's true dash. Neofumi-chan is a genius, Sadhana. Don't mess around. I didn't think it'd be this hard, Neofumi. No, learning it in one night should not be a simple feat but, Galian. Galian is scratching his head with his hind foot making a crunching sound. This fellow acts like a dog. Somehow or other Neofumi-chan is a hero you know. Being able to do it might be natural dash. Sadhana. You're settling a person's efforts as being a hero, Neofumi. It was even more trouble to learn than magic. With magic it's fine if you just somehow use magic power and chant a chosen phrase after all. Thinking about it, memorizing the magic wasn't that hard. I feel like learning the written language was way more difficult. So with that said, magic would be simpler. I wonder what it is. Something is sticking in my mind. Worthy of the origin of power. The hero of the shield commands. Decipher reason once more. Protect that one. Neofumi. In the middle of chanting, a puzzle arbitrarily formed in my field of vision like with Dragon Pulse, but it can be felt as it is. I was taught that magic and Dragon Pulse were made of different systems but It seems I could grasp something but, somehow it probably won't go well. This is also vital to research into. NN. Phiro. Phiro moaned with sleepy eyes. Then her whole body skillfully began shaking with a buru-buru. Like I said, what is that behavior? It's unpleasant when done in human form, so I want you to stop. It's gotten pretty late too. I'm also worn out from magic practice. We should call it a night and sleep soon, Naofumi. That's right, progress was fast, so even I forgot about time, Galion. Even if you praise me, nothing will come out of it, Naofumi. I'm saying it's not a lie, but, oh, fine. Well then, Galion. Kua. Galion. Right after he finished talking, Galion returned to Child Galion, who tried to invade my bed. No. Phiro. Kyuaa, Galion. There Phiro kicked off the obstruction, and Child Galion let out a voice of protest. Give it up, your punishment for mischief is not ended yet, Naofumi. Kyuaa. Galion. Child Galion is also starting to want to sleep in my bed like Phiro. Though, he's male, so I could probably sleep with more peace of mind with him than Phiro. Bedash. Galion. Galion kept looking back like he was charmed by his back hairs while walking trudgingly, and left the house. Well then, let's sleep, Sadana. Sudash, Atla. Atla is already sleeping. Her ease of sleep is dreadfully good. Just, Sadana has said she occasionally moves suddenly as if she remembered something, so an eye needs to be kept on her. Sadana is somehow or other doing her job properly, as expected of the one Rafe Taylor relies on, right? Well, the children are asleep, so does Naofumi-chan want to do something fun with Onisan? Sadana. As if. Naofumi. Really, this fellow, she started joking like this after losing to me in a drinking contest. It's not interesting, and I'm telling you to stop. Too bad, but I'll keep you company anytime, Sadana. Just hurry and sleep. Naofumi. Honestly, oh yeah, this fellow is also simply leveling up fast. Seeing she's already up to 62, isn't she? Fighting even more efficiently than Phiro? It's limited to the sea though. With the trivial chatter finished for the day, I went to bed. Never would I think, even in my dreams, that the embers of the problem I overlooked would become such a big fire the next morning. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 205, Season of Love. What? I woke up to a sensation like something heavy fell. But I can't move my body and felt really hot. Ha, ha. Awfully rough breathing can be heard. I took a look, and of all things, Phiro was pressing on me in Philo Real Queen form while she slept face up. Oi. Why are you on me? Rather don't break the rules we set. Naofumi. Ha, ha, and, Phiro. Phiro's eyes are suspicious. I wonder what the eyes of a carnivore, or rather, her eyes now resemble. Times when she's about to attack a monster in battle. Nevertheless, her breathing is rough. She swallowed saliva with a gokuri, then once again stared at me with rough breathing. Chills ran down my back. For now I'll call out the monster crest item and invoke the penalty on Phiro. Electricity ran through the monster crest item with a backadash. What? Naofumi. The monster crest is not functioning again. Exactly what is happening? Did something happen when I was sleeping? Master, Phiro. With her feathers swelled, Phiro leaned on me and continued talking as is. What? Heavy, move. Naofumi. Master, want to eat, Phiro. Phiro spilled drool as she muttered. She's finally revealed her true colors, this bird. To want to eat. Your owner of all things, you've no doubt revealed your true nature by attacking me. Don't mess around. Move. Naofumi. I changed my shield to the combat use Soul Eater shield and hit Phiro with all my strength. But there was no point to my attack, as Phiro took no damage. I tried pushing using all my strength, but that Phiro, how did she escape my pushing power unperturbed? Want to eat, Phiro. Goo, Naofumi. I didn't want to use this hand but... Atla. Naofumi. NN. Yes. Atla. I'm guessing it's a situation where Atla is crawling out of bed after being awoken by my voice. She can't see but she can probably understand with Phiro on top of me. What is happening? Atla. This bird is revealing her true nature and trying to attack me of all things. Naofumi. Is that so? Atla. But, Atla inclined her head in doubt as she spoke. There is no hostility though. Atla. When you eat, do you direct hostility towards your meal? Naofumi. No, but I believe that sort of thing is different. Atla. That's fine already, hurry and get Phiro. Oh, Naofumi. Before I gave my order, Phiro pressed on me harder. Biwa, stop, Naofumi. Master dash, Phiro. That's no good. Phiro-chan. Atla. Atla ran over and thrust into Phiro. I, who understood the flow of magic power, was able to see. She moved around and thrust at Phiro's vitals. Ouch dash. Phiro. Phiro bent backwards from the pain and fell from the bed. Okay. I jumped onto my feet from the bed. And set my shield towards Phiro. Ow dash, Atla-chan, what are you doing dash? Phiro. Phiro turned her head back as she rubbed spots poked by Atla with teary eyes. It's because you tried to attack me, Naofumi. Phiro did? Why? Phiro. She seems somehow different from earlier. For now I'll call the monster crest again and try penalizing Phiro. Ouch dash. Ow ow, stop it master dash. Phiro. Phiro began to struggle with the Dodabata. The monster crest is functioning normally. Exactly what is going on? What's the matter dash? Sadhana. Sadhana was woken up by the disturbance and was getting up. Ah, this bird violated our arrangement and attacked me, Naofumi. Is that so? Sadhana. Phiro doesn't know. Master stop it dash. Ouch dash, Phiro. Okay, well something like this. I stop the monster crest's penalty. Phiro doesn't remember, Phiro. For the time being, there was a promise to not go into monster form inside the house, Naofumi. Yeah. Huh? Why is Phiro in this form? Phiro. I don't know, Naofumi. Hey. What kind did you mean, saying you were attacked dash? Sadhana. She leaned onto me while breathing roughly, spilling drool while repeatedly saying she wants to eat me, Naofumi. Phiro won't eat master dash. Phiro. Who knows, after all you might instinctively think I look delicious, Naofumi. Boo dash. Phiro. Phiro changed to human form and protested again. The facts tell the whole story. That's dash, hasn't Phiro-chan entered her season of love? Sadhana. Ha. Naofumi. Dash. Phiro. I was taken aback by Sadhana's words, even Phiro tilted her head. Mating season huh, Naofumi. Phiro was quickly brought to Rat's place after that. Ah, Melty was called over for mediating just in case. Phiro received a medical examination from Rat while Melty to soothe the struggling Phiro. Oh. Yeah, after that Phiro once again changed into her monster form, looked at me with the eyes of a bird of prey and muttered, want to eat. Mating season huh dash, Naofumi. It's a troublesome thing, or rather estrus even though it's only been around half a year since Phiro was born huh. Well, wild animals' breeding cycle should be short. Thinking back recently, she's been shivering and shaking, so that was a premonition huh. So, what should be done? Will it be cured if we put Phiro into that test tube? Naofumi. No dash. Phiro. Stop any behavior that could break the equipment. Rat. Rat gave it Tsukamai while looking fed up. There's medicine to promote it, but medicine to curb it huh dash, even if medicine with a calming effect is prescribed, with a variation of Phiro Real it'll just be water on a hot stone, Rat. Rat muttered while rummaging through her medicine shelf. Let's try asking Melty the Phiro Real mania. Here. Melty, do you know anything? Naofumi. If it's the season of love, I wonder if it'd be correct to let her do as she pleases, even if you repress it. Isn't it something that can't be endured? Melty. That will become me being attacked though, Naofumi. Phiro. She herself doesn't seem to remember times when she's in estrus though. Moreover, she seems to realize I'd hate her if she did something like that. It's already a different personality. There are plenty myths of Phiro reals and humans having children together, Melty. Melty, you know there will be no follow-up even if you say such things to me, right? Naofumi. Is it okay like that? Your important Phiro is becoming something dreadful. If she gets sexually excited, isn't it fine to pair her with another Phiro real, rat? No. Phiro. After Phiro raised her voice in protest, she again had bird of prey eyes saying want to eat. Master, no, Phiro. What do you mean I'm the only target of your sexual urges? Really, what kind of face would Raphtalia make if she knew about this? Atla poked Phiro to return her to normal. Ouch. Phiro. For now she's being calmed down with pain, but I don't know what will happen if she enters full-blown mating season, rat. You said something ominous, Naofumi. Rat brings out her desire research as she takes out pen and paper for producing documents. Kua. Galian. Galian came in such circumstances and rode on my back, then whispered. Is it really necessary to expressly keep it hidden? Famu, the Phiro real queen is in estrus. Want me to suppress it? Galian. You can do it. Naofumi. Leave it to me, Galian. Okay, as expected of a dragon. If it's Galian, he might be able to do something. He's a Leica being that rules sexual desire after all. Then next time leave me alone with the Phiro real's queen. Also make sure she cannot run away. Galian. I don't know what's going to be done, but he probably needs her kept from running while he is chanting the magic. Well, no choice but to try. Phiro, come here for a bit. Melty and the rest of you wait there, Naofumi. Yes. Phiro. I took Phiro out of the laboratory with Galian on my back, pushed them both into another room and locked the door. Kukyuku, let's have a go-between with the dragon and Philo real, Galian. No. Phiro. NNGH. EEI. Be obedient. Galian. Wait a moment, hey. Not with magic or anything, isn't he trying to have Phiro let it out physically? No. Phiro wants to eat master, dragons, I'll devour, Phiro. Someone help me. Mew, Galian. Looking inside after quickly opening the door, Galian looks like he's about to be devoured from the head down by Phiro. Hearing the disturbance, Atla returned Phiro to normal again. Trying to devour Phiro with sexual desire, instead getting devoured from the head down, as I thought he's an unreliable dragon emperor. Master is cruel. Phiro. I don't know, Naofumi. Do you hate it that much? Phiro. Isn't that obvious? Naofumi. Kyuaa, Galian. Thanks. Galian's shock from being defeated by Phiro made him go back inside child Galian, it seems. Honestly, what dragon emperor? You lost to Phiro so easily, didn't you? Phiro in estrus somehow seems to lose various restraints. When she was pressing on me, she was even undaunted by my push, so it's substantial. What should be done? Suddenly, Motoyasu's face comes to mind. That pervert seems like he'd happily do it with Phiro. But, I'm not a pervert. Melchan. Master is so cruel, Phiro. Phiro is tattling to Melty. I don't know. Why do you hate Phiro-chan so much? Melty. Hate? If I hated her, Phiro would already be everyone's breakfast, you know, Naofumi. No. Phiro. What did you say? Melty. Enough already. Isn't it okay if you just be her partner one time? It's nothing to fret over, rat. Not a chance, Naofumi. The Count is also stubborn. Even though I have some interest in the veracity of the legends, rat. Research into dragons or something, Neofumi. Rat probably also dislikes animals with a similar ecology to Philo-reals. You're contradicting yourself. Really, what should be done, Neofumi? Won't even Atla become unable to stop it if it's left as is? Not only that, it doesn't seem like it'd stop. Unless I be her partner. But I'd rather die. There is also the method of having Phiro endure it, but it doesn't seem to be something at the level that can be endured. Well then, how does pleading with the Phiro-reals queen sound? She might lend us some insight. Melty. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 206, Fidaria's Request. Neofumi. Fidaria, huh? Looks like Melty's just as optimistic as ever. I guess for now, I'll ask the queen. I grab hold of Phiro's ahog like it's a mic and try asking. You're seeing this right? Isn't there something that can be done? Neofumi. I wait for a response. Before long, Phiro starts nodding her head. This ahog of hers is just about as useful as a cell phone, huh? It'd be nice if this world had some form of telecommunication, although I don't know much about radios and the like myself. Well, you see. It's not like there's no way, but she said she wants your help for something first. Phiro. Of course she does. Tell her no thanks. Neofumi. She says never mind. Letting Phiro power up from eating you would probably be easier anyway. Phiro. Goo, what a cruel suggestion. If Phiro falls completely into heat. Make no mistake, I wouldn't stand a chance. Wait, could I just confront her about it directly? It's not like I'm out of ways to make her give up, but I really don't want to have to resort to them. After all's said and done, I do appreciate how hard she's trying. Come to think of it, couldn't Fidaria be the ringleader behind this whole mess? I started getting a little doubtful. The fact that she has control over other monsters is suspicious on its own. Galeon is a dragon emperor, so it's not strange that he could slip through her effectiveness. But I do get that harem loving dragon isn't worth much to her. But I'm in a situation where I can't really refuse, so I have no choice but to listen. I understand. What do I have to do? Neofumi. Well, you see. She says, recently, in Master's home country, a carriage was targeted by some bandits. Phiro. A carriage. Neofumi. Ah, come to think of it, I've heard that story as well. Melty. Melty joined in the conversation. I guess the fact that she knows must mean these bandits are pretty infamous. From what I understand, the bandits only appear at night. Apparently, some peddlers and the like end up getting challenged to a contest, with their carriages on the line. Melty. Their cargo gets stolen, huh, that's troublesome. Rat. That's not it. The victim's cargo is returned later. It looks like the bandits are just after the carriages. Melty. What? Neofumi. What do you mean they're just after the carriages? Looks like there are some weird bandits around. In the first place, I don't get the point of using carriages at night. I guess whoever's doing this may not be human. If that's the case, this would have to mean that Fidaria can't handle this on her own, huh? Then I should commend her on asking me for help. I've heard that many nobles have had their carriages taken away from them by some weird bandits. Moreover, some beaten-up carriages have been returning full of treasure. Enough to the point where traders are going out looking for the bandits. Melty. Wait a second. What's up with that? Neofumi. If this is related to Fidaria's request, then do Philo-reals have a trait of wanting to battle between carriages? Neofumi. Yeah. She says they do. Phiro. Geez. In short, she wants me to find a solution for some territorial dispute. Although if they're wild Philo-reals, it should be pretty easy. The loser has to hand over its carriage. And since it's mating season, Fidaria says that the loser won't have its love recognized. Phiro. Are they hermit crabs, or what? Huh? So in other words, all we need to do is win. Moreover, Phiro is good at racing. If that's the case, if I beat Phiro in a race, she'd give up on me, right? Alright, Phiro. Have a match with me. A race until the castle. Ready, Go. Naofumi. As long as I make it outside of Galeon's area of magic jamming in time, I could win easily with portal. Shield. Master is going to be cheap, so no. Fyro. TCH. She saw through it. What's really sad is that I really have to race with Fyro eventually. There's no way I can beat her without portal shield. So? What is Fidoria asking me to do? Naofumi. Somehow, you know. The Filarial in that area aren't taking orders properly, so she wants you to go. Punish them. Fyro. It doesn't sound too bad, but... From Melty's conversation, I feel like there's something else. Is there some other Filarial queen trying to expand her territory? I guess I'll have to look into it myself. I understand. Tell me where. Just in case, let me take some people along that can fight. Naofumi. I'll take along Fyro, Rishia, Atlas, and... Melty, are you coming? Naofumi. Somehow I have a bad feeling, but I'll put up since it's for Fyro's sake. Melty. Female knight is out of the question since she's still occupied with Ren. Who else? Is Rat coming? Naofumi. What are you expecting from me? Rat. I thought you'd come with us for the sake of research. Naofumi. Just hearing about the situation is enough. I'm busy with managing the monsters here anyways. Rat. Well, it's a territorial dispute between Filarials, after all. If finding out how to calm Fyro down wasn't in the deal, I probably wouldn't have agreed anyways. Whatever. How's your research going? Naofumi. Pretty well. If Galeon would let me borrow his core, it'd go even better. Rat. His core, huh? If I remember right, he refused initially because he hadn't gathered enough fragments. I wonder what it'll look like when it's finished. Aside from her, I guess there's only Galeon and Tanako who I could take along. Well, actually thinking about it, there's no limit to how many people I can bring since we're not going for EXP in the first place. What kind of challenge will we be facing? Just like hermit crabs, maybe one of carriages crashing into each other? I don't have much of an idea. Either way, Fyro's still in heat, so it's probably better if we bring less people for less of a burden. Tanako isn't necessarily on bad terms with Fyro, but Galeon is. Yeah, I guess that's enough people. Fyro and Rishia, Atlas and Melty. You guys will be accompanying me this time around. Naofumi. Okay. Everyone. After deciding that and making proper preparations, we set off. I feel like I'm overlooking something. Wait, I didn't even think about which way we're heading. Was it around here? Naofumi. After that, Fyro sometimes went back into heat, but for the most part, she was focused on pulling the carriage. Soon enough, night was falling. We'll be unable to travel soon. You can already see the moon pretty clearly. We're currently in the mountain range of Melromerk. Fyro is trotting along the mountain path. Let's see. It seems like this should be the area. Melty. I really took up a request from a Filarial. Will I do anything, or what? Naofumi. I'm a little jealous. Melty. Says the Filarial mannequin in attempt to console me. Naofumi-san, are we going to punish the Filarial here? Rishia. Let's see. Whether we're crashing with other carriages or not, this'll probably turn into a battle one way or another. That's why I brought you guys along. Naofumi. Okay. I'll do my best. Rishia. Let's do our best, Rishia-san. Altus. Aside from Melty, this lot's an honest bunch, so they cooperate very well. Rishia was also raised pretty well, so as long as the job isn't too difficult, it's an easy win. I think. Nothing's happening. Rishia. Yeah. It's like we're searching for bandits here, so it can't be helped. Naofumi. Although they're supposed to show up around here. Will they not show up today? Don't they have a hideout or something? Or rather, a nest since they're Filarials. Naofumi. Fidoria says she doesn't know Fyro. What useless information. In the first place, we're looking for Filarials, right? While thinking that, a torch-like object suddenly appears in the distance, and starts approaching. Amidst a cloud of dust. It seems like they're heading our way pretty quickly from across the mountain range. It's that thing where a torch being lit means you're friendly, right? We too left our lamp on in the carriage to lure them in the first place. Now then, I wonder what kind of crooks they are. Wadash, what? I look at the so-called bandits, and wrinkle my forehead deep in thought. The cloud of dust clears up. The ones pulling the carriage were 3 red, blue, and green-feathered little girls. And in their cargo was long time no see, father-in-law. Street racer Motoyasu, at your service. With a flag tied to his spear, the so-called street racing spear hero had appeared. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 207, Race. Ha? Eh? Street racing? What the hell is this idiot saying? Street racing. He's drifting further and further away from being a hero. What's more, he's giving off a very refreshing smile. It's annoying. Insanely annoying. It's a face I might unintentionally punch with all my might. I don't really want to involve myself with this anymore. I lift up my shield. Portal, Neofumi. Wait. You're leaving. Melty. After seeing that, what other option do you want me to pick? Neofumi. If there's an option B or C, please tell me. If you leave, what will happen to Fyro-chan? Melty. I'll give up on her. Neofumi. Say what? Melty. If I leave her be, Motoyasu will definitely do something. I've decided to believe in the man. Though that's only for my own convenience. No. Fyro. Fyro is resisting quite hard. Phewie. What is that guy doing, the hero of the spear? Rishia. Ah, that person's been like that for quite a while. Neofumi. What did you do? Rishia. This person's sister broke him, and then Fyro destroyed all remaining parts of his personality. Neofumi. Sister. Melty. The sword person also turned strange due to the former princess, right? Are you not going to save him? Rishia. The individual is satisfied with his current situation. Neofumi. Ah, and who is this, father-in-law? Rishia. It seems to refer to me. Neofumi. And why? Melty. Explaining sounds like a pain. I want to run away as soon as possible. The one who isn't here when Fyro was in a pinch was that man. Is it because he was raising Philo Reals? He really does unnecessary things. I was worried because I hadn't seen him for a while, but he was raising children. He couldn't get Fyro's attention, so he raised other Philo Reals to console him. Fyro wants to return home, Fyro. Yeah. I also want to return. Neofumi. Fyro doesn't like being around Motoyasu. But I need to put her somewhere while she's in heat. Motoyasu, what exactly are you doing? Neofumi. Street racing. Motoyasu. That doesn't answer anything. Neofumi. This is no good. Too many things aren't adding up. The Curse series. I want to believe that that is the cause. Why are you operating a place for street racing? Neofumi. These kids said they wanted to, so I let them do as they pleased. Motoyasu. Ah, I see. Aren't you giving them a little too much freedom? Neofumi. Philo Reals love carts, and like hermit crabs, occasionally steal them from each other, and he let them act freely. I don't understand. I never was able to understand all of Motoyasu's actions, but in the time I haven't seen him, he's turned even more unpredictable. I should have noticed when Philo Reals came up. I was deceived by being told tales of Fitteria and bandits. But let's see here, Ren was a thief, and Motoyasu became a bandit. Is Itsuki aiming to become the Pirate King? Hey, why are you father-in-law? Melty. Perhaps because I'm the one who raised Fyro. Neofumi. Motoyasu seems to think owner equals parent. Fyro may be my subordinate, but she's definitely not my child. Even if I was her father, isn't this guy older than me? Why is he calling someone younger than him father-in-law? See, Phiro-tan. It's our children. Motoyasu. Is that true? Naofumi. So while in heat, she already did it with Motoyasu. But she still wanted to do it with me? What a bitch. What a troublesome person. I placed quite a bit of trust on her. I hate bitches, you know. If it's true, she better be prepared for quite a bit of punishment. No. He's wrong, master. Phiro never did anything like that. Phiro. There's no way Phiro-chan would do such a thing. Please stop lying. Melty. By the way, there are quite a few pigs around you, father-in-law. Motoyasu. Listen to me. And what do you mean by pig? Melty. Pig. Rishia. Pig? What do you mean by that, anyways? Naofumi. I mean exactly as I say. Aren't there a lot of pigs around you? Motoyasu. Well. Motoyasu did call some women pigs before at the inn we stayed at. He also called Rafe Talia Tanuki pig. Could it be? Oi, when you look at this, what do you see? Naofumi. I point at Melty. A blue piglet. It's saying oink over and over again. I find it annoying. It's gross, Motoyasu. What was that? When you say pig, are you referring to me? Cut the crap. Melty. Give it up. It's your sister's fault. Naofumi. Idiot sister. Melty. Well, I guess I can understand Melty's rage at being called a pig. But this seems to really be the case. After being swallowed by the curse series, Motoyasu can only see women as pigs. He's not reacting to Melty's words, so he can't even hear them. But he doesn't seem to hold any ill intentions. So are those Philo Real really your and Phiro's children? Naofumi. Nope. Motoyasu. He answered very honestly. He probably bought them. Don't make up stuff to send us into panic. Now that I think about it, when I went to the slave dealer's place to drop off money, something was strange. He didn't look me in the eye. Was this the cause? Now then, father-in-law. I challenge you. Motoyasu. Why? Naofumi. We'll set the torch up by the cliff as a goal point. The first person to reach it will be able to select and keep one of their opponent's angels. Does that sound alright? Motoyasu. Don't go deciding things on your own. Naofumi. Emo-kun, is it time yet? Philo Real. Almost, dear. Motoyasu. Who the hell is Emo-kun? Those three Philo Reals are red, blue, green. It reminds me of old racing games. To complete the set, they would need a yellow, but I guess human form Phiro is blonde. Those three each seem to have distinct personalities. But I don't really want to check. Now then, let's start the race. Motoyasu. Oi. Listen to me. Naofumi. Before I can stop him, Motoyasu disappears down the path he came from. The sight of the three Philo Reals running in little girl form. In my world, this scene would have gotten him arrested immediately. What will you do? Melty. Let's ignore them and go home. Naofumi. Won't that become our loss? Melty. Probably, but I don't really care. Naofumi. Damn you Fiteria. Next time, I'll just have Rat shove Phiro in a test tube. It may be dangerous, but we'll fill her with sedatives until her mating season ends. The scenes in my imagination shift to SF. This sounds like cold sleep. She probably won't die, she'll wake up before that. What do you mean? Phiro. Well, Phiro-chan. If you lose to the Spear Hero, you will belong to the Spear Hero. Melty. That's right, Phiro-chan. Thank you for the time we shared till now. I'll take up your role of sleeping. Next to Naofumi-sama. Atlas. Phiro. It's a bit late, but Phiro finally realizes she's been made into a competition prize. No. Phiro. Naofumi. Phiro starts running off at a remarkable pace. Phui. Rishia. I agree with Rishia's shout. With the difference in start times, we're already losing by quite a margin. What is the course like? I bet it's advantageous to Motoyasu. That man's been using this mountain as his territory, right? Let's see. I take out a map. With all the shaking, it's hard to read. I look through the map, but there are so many winding paths I have no idea which way to go. There are plenty of paths that go alongside cliffs. It seems Fyro's motivated, so I guess I should support her. He never said magic was banned. Zevate Aura. Neofumi. With this, her speed should rise. Fyro, use the inertia of the carriage to maintain speed as we round that curve. Neofumi. Okay. Fyro. As I propose that, the bird begins adrift with the carriage. What sort of turning method is this? I'm worried that the wheels will break. But Motoyasu is doing the same. In a cliff ahead of us, I see Motoyasu far ahead, rounding a corner. Through drifting. Fyro's base speed is higher, but Motoyasu's familiarity with the course, and his early start make it hard to catch up. Right. Left. In that fork, the left path is shorter. Neofumi. It's hard to drive while looking at a map. Also, our carriage is made of metal, and has quite a few passengers. If we want greater speed, it's probably best to leave then. Hey Fyro. Neofumi. What? Fyro. Inside the shaking carriage, everyone is frantically holding on to the sides to prevent themselves from falling out. Can you leave the carriage and chase them? Neofumi. I can't. Fyro. Why? Neofumi. This is Fyro's battle, right? Then Fyro can't leave the carriage. Fyro. I see, Neofumi. Is it something carved into her philo-real instincts? Now that I think about it, if I purposely lose then Fyro will become Motoyasu's, but he seems to have sworn loyalty to me, so we can make that in name only, and he can deal with Fyro's mating season without me. I don't need to know how he'll deal with it. After we've saved the world, in the sunset, he'll meet with Fyro and once again. Master is thinking something strange. Fyro. Neofumi, please quit it with that face you make whenever you think something rude. Melty. Ah, they saw through me. Well, even if we lose, we won't lose that much. No matter how dirty Fyro gets, as long as she works hard, I'll never abandon her. Neofumi. Bullet and dash. Fyro's not dirty. Fyro. Fyro's speed rose. Does she know what that means? She must be mad because she does. Should I make a mistake as the navigator now? No, I'll need to have a reason she can accept. Fyro, go left there. It should be faster. Neofumi. By the way, that way has a bridge suspended by ropes, apparently. It will be difficult with a carriage. Wait, Neofumi. We're heading for a rope bridge. Melty. Yeah. Neofumi. If we fall, I'll use portal shield and warp us out. Snap. Snap. We hear the sound of ropes snapping around us as we cross. Melty. Melty's screaming voice is quite annoying. Phew. Rishia. Rishia's scream is also quite comparable. Atlas nervously looks between the two screaming people, and grabs my shirt sleeve. It'll be fine, right Neofumi-sama? Atlas. Yeah. Neofumi. I see, what happened to those two? Atlas. They're shouting to distract themselves from an unescapable reality. Neofumi. As if she heard me, Melty starts shaking my body back and forth as she screams. Mew. Fyro. With a final snap, the bridge splits in two. Now then, to escape. I prepare to use portal shield, but then Fyro faces the carriage, disattaches herself from it, and grabs the rope of the broken bridge. As the carriage passes over her, she delivers an amazing kick to it, sending it all the way to the other side. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 208, Shortcut. Fugue dash, Fyro. With Fyro's acrobatic kick, the carriage was shot to the other side of the ravine. The people inside, us, are all slammed against the sides of it. We've all developed some mental Traumas now. To dash. Fyro. Running up the collapsing bridge, Fyro is able to catch up to the carriage at an amazing speed. I knew that crossing the bridge would be an extreme shortcut, but it was outside the bounds of human ability. Well, Fyro is a monster. I don't think I had enough lives to spare for that. Melty. What a coincidence. I think the same. Neofumi. If you think that, then choose the route more carefully. Melty. We have to use this route if we want to win. Neofumi. I leave it at that. Honestly, I don't care whether we win or lose. But this was a great shortcut. We've pretty much caught up with Motoyasu's group. I pull out the map and check it again. Let's see, Motoyasu is. If I rely on the light of the torch, he's quite ahead. Next comes 5 devilish hairpin turns. Be careful. Neofumi. One wrong step will send us hurtling down the cliffs. Truly a devilish series of turns. When did my mind shift into race game mode? Yeah. Fyro. Fyro takes the turns perfectly. Yeah, this would be impossible with a car. The carriage shakes up and down, and sways from side to side. Dodge. AGA, Melty. Phew. Miwa, Rishia. This is quite amazing. Atlas. Why is Atlas perfectly fine when we're shaking this much? I'm relatively fine, though. Is it because of magic flow or chi? No, Rishia is no good, so that's probably not it. I'm going to die. At this rate, we're all going to die. Melty. For once, Melty acts like a child. You're the one who wants to win. Deal with it. Be thankful you were born in a world where this much isn't enough to kill you. Phew, Rishia. If you hate it so much, then let Fyro become Motoyasus. Neofumi. No, Melty. To prioritize friendship over your life, you'll become a fine queen. Neofumi. That doesn't make me happy. If you tell me that now, that doesn't make me happy at all, Melty. I'm surrounded by corpses. Perhaps I should have taken Tanako and Galeon. They could evacuate the people here. Now that I think about it, can't you just get off? Neofumi. How am I supposed to do that? Melty. Use magic. Neofumi. There's no way I can chant magic in this situation. Melty. It's not like anything's preventing you. Right. Can't you use water magic, and use the recoil to fly? Quit joking around. Melty. The other option is to send them off with portal shield. But if I do that, I won't be able to get back. Can't you even act a little motivated? Melty. Not with Motoyasu as my opponent. Neofumi. I can understand your feelings, but don't you care what happens to Fyro? Melty. Hehehe. Master. I guess Fyro has been helping me quite a bit. And I can't deny that looking at her soothes me. But I can't forget how she looked at me as if I were her prey this morning. Her head is only filled with thoughts of violating me. And food. As I think that, my head seems to cool down. What? Even if Fyro becomes Motoyasu's belongings, we'll still interact with her the same way. Neofumi. After thinking, that's your conclusion? Do you really hate doing it with Fyro-chan that much? Melty. Isn't it obvious? I care for Fyro, but I don't have the time to be doing things like that. Neofumi. Ah. I never thought the day would come when I wished the creepy Neofumi were here. Melty. Phew, my head is spinning. I think I'm going crazy, Rishia. To say such a thing here. Rishia, you're quite a pervert. Atlas. Why are you only speaking up to that? Melty. Even though I say that, we've almost caught up. But we're also closing in on the goal. At this rate, we'll lose. Ah, the light is shining on Motoyasu from the torch on the cliff. There's quite a turn before we can reach his location. If we were able to jump to the other side of the curve, we would be able to win, but I don't think that's possible. Fyro, you can see a light on that cliff, right? That's the goal. At this rate we will lose. Neofumi. No. Fyro. Fyro veers off the road. Cliff. Fyro, that's a cliff. We can't fly, you know. We'll dash. Melty. Phewie. Rishia. It's over. Everything is over. Was I satisfied with my short life? It would be nice if we could survive. There's still something we can do, but there probably isn't enough time. To dash. Fyro. Fyro grabs onto the top of the carriage, and starts flapping her wings. The wind begins to pick up. The wind whistles loudly. Could it be that Fyro is going to fly? I recall how she was trying to beat Galeon. Did she practice to be an aerial mount? I forgot the obvious fact that Fyro is a bird. If she pushes herself, she should be able to fly. Oh? We seem to be gliding for a bit. Wahoo-yoo-yoo, Fyro. What sort of island is this? TL, this is a reference, but I don't know to what. Though she may fit, being a gluttonous character. Does she plan to take a shortcut like this? But I'm not sure if this will go well. There's a high chance of failure. We're slowly losing altitude. Fyro's body is not one modeled for extended flight. Is it her weight? I'm surprised Galeon can even fly with his massive body. Could it be because physics work differently in this world? Then what of the usually flightless Philo? Real? I should probably lend a hand. E-float shield. Second shield. I deploy these shields at the very end of my range. And change shield. I choose the rope shield. It can be used as a grappling hook. This was an ability that unlocked when I awakened it. Using it, I can send a rope out of the shield and pull things closer. The Chimera Viper shield has a similar effect, but its range is smaller. Pretty much, I will be able to attach the carriage to the floating anchors. After we swing on the first shield like a pendulum, I send the hook towards the next one. Shield prison. My shield prison manifests below the carriage. Fyro. Neofumi. Yeah. Fyro. When we get close enough, I release the shields, and Fyro kicks the carriage with all her might. We arrive at the other side of the cliff. And Fyro uses the shield prison as a platform to reach us. We once again start heading for the goal. I definitely didn't have enough lives for that one, Melty. Melty is collapsed on the floor of the carriage in exhaustion. I feel the same. I'm never racing with Fyro again. Next time a race comes up, I'm abandoning her with Portal Shield. But I don't think a race will come up again in the foreseeable future. I'm dying. I'll definitely die. Melty. I withstood the Spirit Turtle's attacks. I'm here with you. Neofumi. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Melty. What's bugging her so much? Worst comes to worst, I'd at least use a technique to cushion our fall. Though we'd be left in pitch black at the bottom of the cliff. Anyways, we've taken a massive shortcut. Motoyasu should be behind us. We pass by the torch that marked the goal, and stopped. Victory. Neofumi. Since we fell behind in the start, we had to desperately grasp for victory. As expected of Fyro. The fact that Motoyasu's 3 Philo Reals were able to take on human form, means they're probably queens as well, though. But they don't have a hoax. You, Melty. Phew, Rishia. I won. Fyro. While surprised with her victory, Fyro climbs onto the roof of the carriage and begins singing. What sort of ritual is this? She's really excited. Has she forgotten the resentment she had against me? But our carriage is now on the verge of collapse. The wheels can barely be called as such, and the frame is severely warped. I'll have to buy a new one. Wasted money. Should I request it from Motoyasu? No. I don't really want his beat-up carriage either. It's Fyro's win. Fyro is number 1. Fyro is the fastest. She won't lose to the likes of Galeon. Fyro. She's getting loud. I have a feeling she's looking at me like I'm prey again. The only one master will ride is Fyro. The only one master will ride is Phi-OU. Fyro. I tolerated the first half, but I couldn't forgive the second one. She was swaying her hips. Until Motoyasu arrived, Fyro kept singing of her victory. Does she really hate Galeon that much? And soon after, Motoyasu and his noisy three come storming in. I lost, Motoyasu. Motoyasu confirms that we arrived first, as he falls to his knees and places his hands on the ground. Author note. By the way, one of Motoyasu's philo reals is male. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero chapter 209, Lust. Victory dash. Fyro still won't stop doing the victory dance. Does she like competitions? Melty and the others are still groggy and suffering. Well then, the winner gets to take one Fyro real from the loser, was it? Naofumi. I don't really need it, but that's how it's been decided. Looking carefully, these three seem to have their own characteristics. The red one with a short bob hairstyle gives a strong-willed impression from their eyes. The blue one with long hair gives a tidy young lady impression. The green one with braided hair seems like a docile, plain class representative type, I'd say similar Rishia. Fyro is like that, so I won't judge to what's inside, but the green one looks easiest to use. Okay, then send over that quiet-looking emerald green one, Naofumi. No good. Green is no good. Motoyasu. Motoyasu protectingly clung to the three of them. Is Midori its name? I have no duty to say it, but what terrible naming sense. It's very likely that the other two have been named by their colors as well. Really you, Naofumi. Bringing up the match yourself and declining when you lose, what's with that? I don't really need you speaking your mind. I have a surplus with even Fyro. I don't need just another two. Emo-kun. Emo-chan. Motoyasu-san. Call him the same way. Is what I will leave unsaid. It'd probably get noisy. The three clung to Motoyasu and were all crying together. Reluctant to part, huh? I don't need this. It's fine already, just come back. Don't cause trouble. Follow the Philo Real Queen's instructions. Naofumi. Good, mission complete. Fyro will quiet down too. Father-in-law. Motoyasu. Stop calling me that. Naofumi. Honestly, you just keep getting broken. Please give me your daughter, Motoyasu. Again. Naofumi. Are really so troublesome? Or rather, to ask for more even when you lose the match, huh? The bad feeling has finally been cured. I've found the spot that works for motion sickness, Atla. Before I realized, Atla was looking after Melty and Rishia. Recovery seems fast. Mew dash. Motoyasu's followers are saying the same thing as Fyro. They are identical on the inside after all. No dash. Go home if you lost. Fyro. Fyro declared loudly. As a matter of fact, that's how it is. It'll take work to apprehend her, and Galeon is not here, so I don't want to get involved. Let's hurry back. Reach Fyro-chan. My feelings. Motoyasu. Motoyasu suddenly wielded his spear and took a pose. What? I didn't get a good look at that flag. Attached spear, but the handle is black. Somehow, smells like the Curse series. Temptation. Motoyasu. It felt like something like a barrier was developing in the middle of Motoyasu. Wadash, Naofumi. What's this guy doing? A really disturbing word is floating into mind. There are many skills with this name that usually have charm-type effects. I concentrated my eyes and look at Motoyasu. Huh? What? Motoyasu has become good-looking. There are glittering sparkles around him like a lame cloth, and the background is dyed pink. No way, such a hottie. If he's this good-looking, even I'll fall for him. Yeah right. Naofumi. I maintain my sense by swinging my head. That was dangerous. I almost got to the point of no recovery. Are you okay? Naofumi. I looked toward Melty and the others. Ah, yeah. I'm alright, I just thought that person looked a bit cool, but I'm okay, Melty. Phew, I have Itsuki-sama, so it's no good, Rishia. What do you mean? Atla. Atla, Was there no effect because she can't see? Naofumi-sama is the only one for me no matter what, Atla. I see, Naofumi. Anyways, Motoyasu, what are you doing all of a sudden? Hey you dash, what's that spear? Naofumi. It is L**st spear 4. Father-in-law, Motoyasu. 4. Higher than wrath? Just how sick have you gotten? Or rather, answering so easily is a bad disposition. Last, it's not last. It's lust, no doubt. Why did he answer so honestly I wonder? Father-in-law. If Phiro-tan desires it, please allow our engagement, Motoyasu. Don't you just want to brainwash Phiro with your temptation skill? Naofumi. It's different. It's a skill my heart summoned to convey my love to Phiro-tan. Motoyasu. Other females have been tempted too. Even males were affected, Naofumi. What are you learning a brainwashing skill for? Even though I wanted to know about the existence of a brainwashing shield so much, why are you using it? Because Motoyasu before he got broken was loud saying brainwash brainwash. I don't need any love besides Phiro-tan's, Motoyasu. I see, Naofumi. But to think his lust for Phiro exceeds my anger. Wow. Losing is fine already. I want to return. Speaking of, Phiro is being quiet. Phiro. Naofumi. Ha, Phiro. This rough breathing, it's Kumha. Motoyasu's dearest desire. It's over, I wonder if I should give up. Should I have Atla return her to normal? In RPGs of the past, charm and confusion could be offset by an attack from an ally. Though sometimes it wouldn't work. Okay Atla, hit Phiro, Naofumi. Yes. Atla. Atla hit around Phiro's flank. However. Ha, Phiro. She won't return. Phiro-chan. Atla. She won't come back. Is it impossible to help Phiro without defeating Motoyasu? Phiro-tan. I am over here. Motoyasu. Muyu. Leaving behind the three burning with jealousy, Motoyasu opened his arms widely waiting for Phiro. Tempting the other with the spear's power is love? However, Motoyasu's plan is Aster. Want to eat, Phiro. Heading in another direction, the box that must not be opened was opened. Of all things, Phiro turned to face me and started walking plumpily. Ha, Phiro. Her eyes look more dangerous than this morning. A chill ran down my spine. What is this? My instincts are sounding the danger alarm. The goosebumps and chills won't stop. It'll be bad if I don't stand and leave here immediately. Portal shield. Naofumi. I keep relying on this but it can't be helped. I won't get away if I don't rely on it. But transfer failed? Because of Motoyasu's skill I won't let you escape, Phiro. Looking closely, something like a mist is enshrouding Phiro, with firefly-like lights floating around. Nearby. Sanctuary, Phiro. Phiro lightly chanted a magic. It's probably the same system of magic as Galeon's Dragon Sanctuary. Without doubt I think. Dragon Pulse? No, Phiro Reals would not use it. But the atmosphere and area resemble the time when Phyteria appeared. Why can Phiro use it? Tell me how you were able to use it before me who's relying on Galeon. No, there's no mistake, it's useful because of the current circumstances. Phyteria. Repay me now and send it. Naofumi. Whether or not I was heard, Phiro's ahog is shining. But it had no effect, and something black was silently coiling about around the ahog. Naofumi-sama. Atla. Atla stood in front of Phiro. Move, Phiro. Phiro nimbly held Atla's shoulder and moved her aside. Atla. How fast? Even though Atla's movements were good too. Well, being compared to Phiro is unfair. She's the fastest of my subordinates after all, this fellow. Atla, do you know what's happening to Phiro? Naofumi. Yes. Something black came out from that person and is coiling around Pharaoh-chan, Atla. Then, Atla pointed at Motoyasu. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 210, Jealousy. Motoyasu put the end of the flag into his mouth and stretched it with all his strength as he glared at me with a look of jealousy. Wasn't it your own fault? What are you looking at me enviously for? Naofumi. No way, father-in-law. Doing that as parent and child is a crime. It's not like I'm feeling jealous or anything. Motoyasu. Don't make it so obvious, idiot. Naofumi. Step by step, Pharaoh is approaching me. Should I run away? I have a feeling Pharaoh is only approaching slowly because I'm within range. Well, I'll confirm with the monster crest item first. It's unrefutably a sandstorm. Operation Impossible. Next is, exclude Pharaoh from the party. Meteor Shield. Naofumi. Hindrance dash, Pharaoh. The developed meteor shield was destroyed in one hit. Hey. This is seriously bad. I'll get done by Pharaoh at this rate. So jealous dash. I'm so jealous of you being loved by Pharaoh-tan, Motoyasu. Shut up dash. Naofumi. Whose fault do you think it is? Motoyasu's spear. It seems that spear is granting power to Pharaoh. It probably has an effect of lending power to those overcome by lust. What a bothersome ability to possess. Motoyasu, hurry and change that spear. Naofumi. What are you saying, father-in-law? There's no way I could change a spear that appeared from my love for Pharaoh-tan, Motoyasu. Your beloved Pharaoh will run wild at this rate. Naofumi. I am the main victim. Isn't it normally the opposite? Defeating Motoyasu for Pharaoh, who was brainwashed by Motoyasu, won't happen. It's become to defeat Pharaoh to stop her rampaging caused by Motoyasu. If I am defeated in the former scenario, Pharaoh will be done by Motoyasu. If I am defeated in the latter scenario, I will be done by Pharaoh. Why is it no good? Pharaoh on. Motoyasu. Motoyasu rushed over and stood in front of me as if to shield me. Then he faced Pharaoh and shouted. That's no good, Pharaoh-tan. Incest is no good. Motoyasu. We aren't even real parent and child. Naofumi. I've had enough of this state of affairs. From the start. Pharaoh-tan. That's no good, Motoyasu. Move dash, Pharaoh. Nuah. Even then, I'll show you that I can prevent you from going down the path of evil. Motoyasu. Why Motoyasu is trying to stop Pharaoh's advance with his back turned towards me, I want to consult this with Raphtalia. Why is Raphtalia not here? Raphtalia would be able to understand this resentment with no comparison. Like I said, hurry and change your spear. Naofumi. Master, Pharaoh's dash, Pharaoh. You. Father-in-law. I'm so envious. Being so valued by Pharaoh-chan, Suabit is how I feel, Motoyasu. Shut up. Naofumi. Whose fault do you think it is? It's you. You. So jealous, so jealous. Motoyasu. Don't stamp your feet, it's disgusting. Don't put on that disgusting smile while getting grappled by Pharaoh. As to why I know what his face looks like, it's because he turned this way and spoke. The idiot. So bitter, Motoyasu. What? A black aura is gushing out of Motoyasu's spear. The flag tied to Motoyasu's spear tore, the spear's tip is revealed. Why does it look like the tip of Motoyasu's spear is covered by a mosaic? Wah, Melty. Turning to look towards the voice, I see Melty's flushed face. Identically, Rishia, who stood recovered from motion sickness, was using both hands to cover her eyes with a red face. Why do you have a spear with such a shape? Melty. Her loud voice echoed. You can see it, Melty. Naofumi. Naofumi can't see it. Melty. Just on the spear's tip, there's a mosaic, it appears blurred, Naofumi. Phew, I saw through it, Rishia. What? I can't see because of the mosaic, but it seems Melty and the others can see it clearly. Why can't you see it, Melty? What kind of shape is it? Naofumi. On the other hand, I'm welling with interest since I can't see it. Rather, why is it only me who can't see it? That's sexual harassment. If you weren't Naofumi, severe punishment would have been dealt. Rather. Aren't you just saying you can't see to humiliate me? Melty. Sexual harassment, huh, Naofumi. Just, what kind of shape does it have? Things to consider, stuff covered by mosaics on television. Guro, probably not. There would have been mosaics when monsters were being dismantled. In which case, I'm guessing it probably has the shape of that thing in the wagon of Elizabeth's portable shrine. / phallic festival. What kind of game did the men's thrusting spear appear in again? A spear that does double damage to females. I'll confirm the shape of Motoyasu's spear once again. An ominous scorpion and snake ornament adorn the handle. The spearhead is still covered by a mosaic. There, Motoyasu. This guy is still calling me father-in-law at this point. Even while being corroded by the curse series. How admirable. It already feels like it'd be fine to call it my loss. I will steal your daughter. With this lust envy spear for Motoyasu. Ha. I'm about to be corroded by melancholy. Fyro-tan. I will stop you, and take your purity. Motoyasu. Motoyasu pointed his spear towards Fyro. Just where are you pointing it? Don't set your aim at the lower half of her body. I'm not going easy if you get in my way, Fyro. Fyro also seriously gathered power and took a stance. Thus Fyro and Motoyasu began slowly approaching each other as they looked for openings. What would be good for us to do? Atla and Melty ask with half-amazed expressions while standing as if to protect me. I don't know. Either. Why is Motoyasu protecting us? Motoyasu is acting like an enigmatic ally. It's so baffling my head is starting to hurt. I don't know, Naofumi. I just want to quickly return. But, I won't be able to return at this rate. Motoyasu started circling towards Fyro's rear with his spear still pointed downwards. Where are you intending to set your aim? Fire. Ressentiment. Motoyasu. Again, something is passing through nearby. Temptation also affected me. But, the skill this time. Famu, for some reason I recall the incident when I was had by Motoyasu and Witch. But these feelings of resentment are a daily thing, nothing was affected by seeing the betrayed and ruined Motoyasu. Or rather, Raphtalia's face came to mind right afterwards but nothing happened. What kind of skill was that? My head is getting strange, Melty. Fui, Itsuki-sama - Rishia. Uni-sama, I'm envious, Atla. Melty, Rishia, and Atla are moaning painfully. Is the skill a mind attack type? Temptation was also a mind attack type. You could say Motoyasu is a pro in that field. To be using it himself, even though he's bad-mouthed and attacked me over a brainwashing shield. Get yourselves together. Naofumi. Ha. What did you feel? Naofumi. Melty. Melty quickly averted her line of sight. Next, Rishia muddled her words with the usual fui. The image of Uni-sama and Naofumi-sama having a harmonious relationship appeared in my mind. Atla. Why should I get along with full Naofumi? It seems to set a field with the effect of amplifying feelings of jealousy, that kind of feeling? Well, it wouldn't be strange even if everyone held one or two feelings of jealousy. As I thought, it was a mind attack type. Why did this guy use this kind of skill? The power in my heart is increasing, Motoyasu. Boosting yourself with the power of jealousy. Reach it. My heart of love. Motoyasu. Motoyasu hoisted his spear up high. What part of Fyro are you planning to thrust that spear? Don't get in Fyro's way Fyro. Fyro was able to turn and dodge faster than Motoyasu could thrust. Maybe thanks to the curse. Motoyasa's movements are considerably fast. No, I have a feeling it's not just that. He's even faster. Then Ren. Not that he wouldn't be able to keep up at all, but I doubt he'd be able to catch up. Fyro-tan. Meteor Spear. Motoyasa. Bashii. Motoyasa fired his skill aimed at Fyro. NNNNGGHHHHH. Fyro. Fyro dodged Motoyasa's meteor spear by a paper-thin margin and kicked Motoyasa's chest. Goo, Fyro-tan's kick, I'm so happy, Motoyasa.